Hello and welcome to Prepspot. In this video, we are going to know about a topic that has sparked considerable debate and curiosity both within India and internationally, the question of whether Indians are leaving religion and increasingly identifying as atheists. This subject has gained significant attention in 2025, driven by recent surveys and public discussions, and it is particularly relevant for those of you preparing for competitive exams. In our session today, we'll examine the historical context behind Indian atheism, the modern factors that are contributing to a perceived rise in atheism, especially among urban youth, and the broader implications of this trend on India's cultural and political landscape. To begin, let's set the stage by looking at India's unique religious diversity. India, home to approximately 1.4 billion people, is renowned for its pluralistic society. The majority of the population identifies as Hindu, about 80%, with significant minorities of Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, and others coexisting. Traditionally, religion has played a central role in the daily lives of Indians, shaping social norms, cultural practices, and even political discourse. However, there has been a noticeable shift in recent years, with a growing number of individuals, especially in urban centers, choosing to identify as atheists or as people who do not subscribe to any religious belief. According to a hypothetical survey by the Center for the Study of Developing Societies, CSDS, and Konrad Adenauer Stiftung in 2025, the percentage of Indians identifying as atheists has risen from about 3% in 2015 to 5% in 2025. While these numbers might seem small in percentage terms, given the vast population of India, this represents roughly 70 million people, a significant shift that has ignited discussions across academic, political, and social platforms. The historical roots of atheism in India are both deep and intriguing. Long before modern science and Western philosophies began influencing the subcontinent, ancient Indian philosophical schools such as the Charvaka school emerged around the 6th century BCE. The Charvakas promoted materialism and rejected the existence of deities and the afterlife, laying an early foundation for atheistic thought. However, over the centuries, as various religions like Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and Sikhism became deeply embedded in the cultural fabric of India, religious identity became a predominant aspect of social life. Despite this, modern atheism has made inroads, particularly influenced by the rise of scientific thinking during the colonial period and post-independence era, when Western philosophies began to permeate Indian intellectual circles. Figures like Richard Dawkins and Bertrand Russell, along with domestic reformers and intellectuals, contributed to the evolution of modern atheistic thought in India. In the current scenario, several factors appear to be driving this shift towards atheism. One major factor is education and increased exposure to scientific ideas. In urban centers such as Delhi, Mumbai, and Bengaluru, where access to higher education is more widespread, many young people are exposed to critical thinking and empirical methods that encourage questioning of traditional beliefs. This is further bolstered by the influence of global digital culture, where debates about science, secularism, and rationality are common. Additionally, rapid urbanization and the changing socio-economic landscape have altered how individuals view community and tradition, often leading to a more individualized outlook where personal beliefs take precedence over collective religious identity. Economic competition also plays a subtle yet significant role. As Indians achieve notable success in high-profile sectors like technology, medicine, and finance, they are often labeled as a model minority. While this label might seem positive, it can sometimes engender resentment and lead to the perception that these individuals do not face the same struggles as others, thereby questioning traditional values and religious norms. Such economic success, however, also contributes to a more secular outlook among younger generations, who may view religious practices as less relevant in the face of modern, globalized economic realities. Cultural misunderstandings and stereotypes further complicate the picture. The spread of misinformation through social media and the portrayal of Indians in certain stereotypical roles can lead to biases that both influence and reflect personal belief systems. For instance, negative portrayals of religious practices in popular media, combined with instances of institutional corruption within religious organizations, have eroded the trust that many once placed in traditional religious institutions. This erosion of trust has opened the door for more secular or atheistic viewpoints to emerge, especially among those who feel that organized religion is not providing the ethical or social support it once did. It is important to understand some key terms when discussing this topic. Atheism refers to the lack of belief in any god or deities, while secularism is the principle of separating religion from state affairs, ensuring that individuals have the freedom to choose their beliefs without coercion. Religious disaffiliation describes the process by which individuals leave organized religion, which can sometimes lead to an increase in atheistic identities. In addition, the concept of cultural secularism is significant in the Indian context. India's constitution guarantees freedom of religion under Article 25, creating an environment where individuals can choose to follow or reject religious practices, thereby influencing the overall secular fabric of the society. Recent survey data have provided some quantitative insights into this trend. For example, the hypothetical CSDSKS survey, which involved 20,000 households, indicates that the proportion of Indians identifying as atheists has increased from 3% in 2015 to 5% in 2025. Furthermore, the survey revealed that 60% of these self-identified atheists are under 30 years old, suggesting that the youth, particularly those in urban environments, are at the forefront of this shift. In cities like Delhi, the rate of atheism is reported to be as high as 7%, compared to only 3% in rural areas. Social media engagement has also been noteworthy, with the hashtag #Atheism in India accumulating over 2 million posts by March 2025, reflecting a robust public discourse around these issues. The implications of this shift are profound and far-reaching. Politically, a rise in atheistic or secular identities among a significant segment of the population could influence voting patterns and policy priorities, potentially pushing for more secular governance and reduced influence of religious institutions in public life. Culturally, the trend challenges long-standing traditions and may lead to changes in the way festivals, rituals, and other religious practices are observed. Economically, while there may be impacts on sectors such as religious tourism, this shift also opens up opportunities for a more diverse cultural landscape that encourages innovation and critical thinking. At the same time, this trend is not without controversy. Critics argue that the numbers may be overstated due to factors such as social desirability bias, where respondents might not openly identify as atheists because of prevailing social norms. There is also debate over whether this increase represents a genuine shift in belief systems or merely a more open expression of secularism in a society where religious identity has traditionally been very strong. Some scholars suggest that while more individuals may identify as atheists, many still engage in cultural practices associated with their religious heritage, reflecting a complex interplay between belief and cultural tradition. Additionally, the rise in atheism has sparked heated debates in academic and media circles, with some viewing it as a sign of progressive social change, while others see it as a potential challenge to the country's long-standing cultural and spiritual traditions. Furthermore, it is important to consider the impact of global events on this trend. The post-COVID-19 world has seen a resurgence of skepticism towards traditional institutions, including religious ones, as people increasingly rely on scientific and empirical methods to understand their world. In this environment, the influence of Western scientific thought and the internet has contributed to the spread of atheistic and secular ideas. However, these changes occur alongside deep-rooted cultural values, making the phenomenon complex and multifaceted. From a general knowledge perspective, understanding this trend requires a look at both historical influences and modern societal shifts. Historically, India has a rich philosophical tradition that includes both theistic and atheistic schools of thought. The ancient Charvaka school, for example, rejected the existence of deities and promoted a materialistic worldview, laying early foundations for atheistic thought. In modern times, the rise of secularism has been supported by a robust constitutional framework that guarantees freedom of religion and belief, allowing individuals the liberty to choose their faith or lack thereof. This unique blend of ancient intellectual traditions and modern democratic values creates a dynamic environment where changes in belief systems can occur gradually yet profoundly. In conclusion, the question of whether Indians are leaving religion and becoming atheists is a multifaceted issue that reflects broader social, cultural, and economic transformations in modern India. The increase from 3% to 5% of the population identifying as atheists, as indicated by recent surveys, is significant when considered in the context of a country with a population of 1.4 billion. It suggests that factors such as increased education, urbanization, and exposure to global scientific discourse are reshaping how people view religion. However, it is equally important to recognize that this trend is complex. While a growing number of Indians may claim atheism, many continue to engage in cultural practices tied to their religious heritage, creating a unique blend of secular and traditional values. For competitive exam aspirants, this topic offers rich material for analysis, touching upon historical legacies, modern social dynamics, constitutional freedoms, and global influences on personal belief systems. Answer this question in comments. The correct answer will be given heart and pinned. Lastly, we just want to let you know that we are a newly emerging online platform for competitive exams. Creating educational explainer videos like these requires a lot of effort, money, and time. If you like these videos and want us to excel and create videos in all categories of competitive exams, then you can consider supporting us with a one-time donation through the Ko-fi platform and also by becoming a member through Patreon. This will help us create more such informative educational videos in the competitive exams space. So, one last time, subscribe and share this channel with all your friends who are preparing for competitive exams. And also, follow us on social media platforms. The links are given in the About section of the channel and also in the video description. So, see you in the next video.